Hi everyone, welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today I thought that I would sit down and talk tinted SPF. Solara did just release their fortune teller tinted SPF serum sunscreen, so I wanted to make sure that I touched on that a little bit, but I wanted to do a little bit more all-encompassing video now that there is a new edition. So let's start off with probably my most used of the lineup, and I'll explain why. This is the RMS Supernatural Radiance Serum SPF 30. This bad boy retails for $48. We are getting 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters worth of product. This is a mineral SPF sunscreen with non-nano zinc oxide. All of the ones I'm sharing with you today are non-nano zinc oxide, and we'll discuss that a little bit further, but there are 3 different shade options in this. So one thing I wanted to sort of kick off, and that I will reiterate as this video moves on, is none of these really make claims to substitute foundation. They're not making really any coverage claims, though many of them, particularly the tinted options, do have they have a like smoothing sort of property, evening out of the skin tone. They make an amazing base, or if you are looking for something that looks undetectable on the skin with just that little bit of coverage, if we can even call it that, then this is gonna be for you. And this is also excellent for any sort of beach day, summer break that you are going on, because it's going to just even out the skin again and give you that SPF coverage, which is fantastic. So what's unique about this product is that it's formulated with a Glowplex. The Glowplex contains peptides, quinoa extract, niacinamide. These all sort of work together to smooth and boost the radiance of the skin, not only upon application, but over time. So that's what I love about all of these SPF options. They do also have skincare benefits. So it just makes you feel even more comfortable putting this on the skin and wearing it all day long. Now this has an SPF 30. It does have blue light protection, as well as more of a demi matte finish despite that radiant claim and despite the Glowplex that I just spoke about. What I also think these are great for, and what I've been using them for so very much, is this dark shade. I've been mixing it with my foundation because I do have a little bit of a tan going, so you can use these to sort of darken the foundation, boost the SPF coverage, or of course just wear it on its own. I have the luxury of having 3 shades, so on a day-to-day basis, the medium is more for me. When it's not the summertime, I do a little mix of the light and medium. I love that you can mix and match. They're a little bit of like a thicker, creamy formula, not quite as watery or velvety as some of the other ones that I'm gonna discuss as well. So demi matte finish, looks good on everyone, and doesn't pill or flake or anything when you apply it. So I love this one, and again, I think it's probably my most used. Then moving right along, let's talk the Solara. I know you guys are probably intrigued about this one. I've used their fortune teller sunscreen in the past, and now it comes tinted. So I'm very aware of the sort of texture of this, which is really quite velvety. But this one here retails for $64. It is 1.7 fluid ounces and 50 milliliters worth of product. So we are getting a little bit of boost as far as the amount of product we are getting. And this also has a pump, which I absolutely love. Just makes for mess-free sort of application, which I think is great. This, similarly to the RMS, is formulated with the Super Bright complex. So this is another one that is going to help illuminate your uneven skin tone over time. So this is the skincare benefits. But what also is unique about this is that there are only 2 shades that are meant to cover 6 different skin tones, from light to much deeper. And what's great about a tinted SPF, especially ones of the zinc variety, is that zinc could be a little bit of a doozy as far as blending out of the skin. It is known for leaving a little bit of a white cast. I have like a body sunscreen that I love to use, and while zinc is super protective and amazing, doesn't always blend in the easiest. But this is going to sort of be an adaptable shade, and they call this like their micro tint magic. I will include that down below in case you want to dive a little bit deeper on that. But you've got micro tint 1 and micro tint 2 that are meant to sort of develop over those 6 shades. As I discussed, I use micro tint 1, though I really think if I wanted to, I could use the other one as well. And again, that's because it's not really a shade. It is a very light tint to help it just sort of blend out onto the skin. This one has more of a matte to velvety sort of finish, so I think it's gonna be great for you. If you have more oily skin, it feels just so silky and like nothing on the skin, but it's not a flat matte. It's really quite a dewy, not dewy, it's really quite a velvety finish is the word that I meant to say there. But anyways, this is also formulated with argan oil, hyaluronic acid, and vitamin C. So again, brightening, moisture retention, all of that good stuff that we want. This has SPF 30. This also has blue light protection. I think every single one I'm going to break down today does. And I think with the rise of working from home post-COVID, a lot of SPFs like to keep that in mind, or just skincare, makeup products in general. And then again, it has that more velvety, also demi-matte finish, maybe even a hint more radiant than this when it's on the skin. But another great layering one, builds beautifully as well. You are just going to get a little bit more product here. Moving right along to the Agent NATEUR. This is like my favorite as far as how it looks on the skin, and that's because I have more dry skin. These are their Holy Sun SPF dewy skin drops. Now this retails for $58. We've got a fluid ounce here, or 30 milliliters worth of product, and this comes in 4 different shades. This is cool because it comes in like a little pipette. It's very watery, so you are going to want to make sure you mix this up to mix all of the like mica and coloring agents in here with the SPF, but this goes on beautifully onto dry skin. If you have more oily skin, this is one that you might want to skip just because this is going to look radiant on the skin, and you will see when I apply it on the back of my hands. In here we've got niacinamide, we've got squalene. This helps overall texture of the skin. You can see a lot of these are sort of targeting that, as well as the squalene helps really seal in the moisture of the skin that does not at all clog the pores, which I think is really great, especially if we are adding another layering product in the mix. I know sometimes people are worried about putting on SPF, but if you double cleanse at night, you will be golden. What's great about this, outside of that beautiful radiant finish, is that it is actually SPF 50, another one that is non-nano zinc oxide and does provide blue light coverage as well. So it's going to be a lot more sheer than the other options just because it is watery, but it's incredibly buildable. This has a little bit more color to it than the other ones, and you do get a more diverse shade range here as well, which I think is nice when you were looking for something to just overall even out the skin. I've been using the shade Almond. It's a little bit more warmer than my skin tone, but in the summer months, I think it's really pretty. And again, as a base, another one to layer beautifully on top of. And finally, we are going to be talking about the BABO Botanicals Daily Sheer Fluid Mineral Sunscreen SPF 50. This is interesting because it comes in both tinted and non, though the tinted option is only 1 shade. So this is going to only work on most skin tones, and because it's a high SPF factor, I do want you to proceed with caution if you have quite a deep skin tone, because this is one that might look a little bit gray on the skin, tinted or otherwise. But if that is not the case, it's a really amazing value. This retails for $21.95. You get 50 milliliters worth of product in here, or 1.7 fluid ounces. It's a fragrance-free option as well as vegan. So if you have sensitive skin, this is the one I'm really going to push you towards because I think it's amazing. Another one that is more fluidy, as the name would suggest, you're going to mix this up, help disperse that color, or if you're just using the regular one, you are just going to use it as is. I love the little applicator. This is almost like the same exact component as the RMS, and I think that this is just great. Also amazing for travel in case, again, you are going on a summer break, something like that. But this does also offer blue light protection as well. And then this is SPF 50. So I think this is amazing. As far as the finish on the skin, because it's fluidy, I always find that these lean a little bit more radiant, but it is not that high shine finish that the Agent NATEUR provides. It might look a little bit radiant upon application, and then it's really going to settle in the skin. It's incredibly lightweight. I actually do find that this blends really well even on my skin tone. I think just apply this as sparingly as you can while still working up that coverage, or, you know, coverage not in color, coverage in overall application on this. So some call-outs that I wanted to do are, clearly these all offer blue light protection, things like that. I wanted to do a variety of price points, which most of these are in a similar bracket, and you've got your value one here with the BABO, but they're all beautiful non-nano zinc options. They all really do layer beautifully. I think we've just come so far as formulation. It really is a lot easier to find a home run in this regard. It's really just going to boil down to what your budget is, what your skin type is, and then what sort of coverage you are looking for, because the RMS and the Agent NATEUR are going to allow you a little bit more variety as far as color selection. And in turn, I think rather than offering coverage, this is really just going to allow you to not have a white cast on the skin, which is incredibly important, because with zinc, that is just like a notoriously difficult thing. So that is everything, you guys. I just wanted to do brief little snippets. I think I've reviewed almost all of these extensively outside of the Solara, but I have discussed the Fortune Teller overall formulation before, so I will include that for you down below. But if you have any questions for me, I like to keep this brief, but we can always dive a little bit deeper in the comment section down below. Again, I use the RMS most frequently. I think I just love the shade range that we're offered here, but when I really want my skin to like look glowy and beautiful, like I'm at the beach all day, I do reach for the Agent NATEUR. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. Before you go, if you would not mind giving the video a big thumbs up, subscribe. I do upload new videos here every single week, and I don't want you guys to miss them. If you want me to talk about more SPF options, they don't need to be the tinted variety, could be body options as well. I can absolutely do that. I know we need it now more than ever. But also, while you're down there, if you wouldn't mind, of course, leaving a comment, but subscribing to our newsletter, as well as following us on all of our social media handles. We are everywhere. We send you video reminders, we send you new product launch reminders, and of course notifications of when we do sales over at Integrity Botanicals. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of the consistent love and support, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.